A very good morning to all you dear students. Today we will be winding up with the chapter 2. Okay, so what are the things we have to do today? Difference between various forms of business organization and case study. So, children, whatever types of business organizations we have done, like the sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu family business, cooperative, types of companies, okay, all the difference we'll be doing today, and some case studies, okay. So here children, this is there in your book. I don't want to explain much, okay. So just see, this is there in your books also. Comparative evaluation of forms of organization. So here the basis of difference, the basis of comparison is given towards the left, okay. So the basis of comparison is formation, members, capital contributions, liability, control and management, and continuity. So these are the few bases, and when you are studying you must know the basis of comparison. Sometimes you in the exams you are asked on the basis of membership, on the basis of formation, tell what is the difference between various forms of business organization. So let us just start. I will just be reading what is there, okay. So formation, sole proprietorship, minimum legal formalities, easiest formation. Partnership, registration is optional, easy formation. Joint Hindu family business, less legal formalities. Exception from registration is formation. Cooperative society, registration compulsory, greater legal formalities. Company, registration compulsory, lengthy and expensive. So out of all these, the most lengthy procedure for the formation is of the company, okay. Next is, and registration you should see that for cooperatives it is compulsory, for company it is compulsory, but when we are talking about partnership it is not compulsory, okay. Next, members, only owner is the member in sole proprietorship. Minimum of 2 partners, maximum 50. At least 2 persons for division of family property, no maximum limit. So this is joint Hindu family business. Minimum is 2 and maximum no limit. Coming to cooperative society, at least 10 adults, no maximum limit. Company, minimum private to public company is 7. Maximum private company is 200, public company unlimited. So members can be unlimited in a public company. Okay, next we are coming to capital contribution, limited finance. Then partnership, limited, but more than that can be raised in sole proprietorship. Joint Hindu family business, capital is ancestral property. Cooperative society, limited capital. But the largest capital is in the company form, that is largest financial resources. Liability, unlimited liability in sole proprietorship. Partnership, unlimited and joint liability. Joint Hindu family business, unlimited liability of the karta and limited liability of other members. Cooperative society, limited liability. And likewise company, it is limited liability of the members. Control and management, sole proprietorship, owner takes all decisions, quick decision making. So owner is the one who is controlling the business, and therefore it is quick decision making. Partnership, partners take decision with consent of all the partners. Joint Hindu family business, karta takes the decision. Cooperative society, elected representatives, managing committee takes the decision. So in cooperative society, you remember that members elect elected representatives, and a very special characteristics here is one vote, one man. Okay, one man, one vote. Company separation between ownership and management. So the control of the company goes with the board of directors. The owners, the shareholders, have no say in the day to day working of the company. Okay, so this is the comparison of the various forms. And the last one, continuity, sole proprietorship, unstable, business and owners regarded as one. If the sole proprietor is no more, the business will not exist. Next, coming to the partnership, more stable but affected by status of partners. If one of the partners has some problem, he is insane, or he is bankrupt, then the partnership comes to an end. Stable business continuity even after Karta dies. So, in joint Hindu family business, children, if you remember that the Karta, when he is no more, the next elder family member business, the next elder family, okay, eldest in the family becomes the head of the family and the Karta of the family. So, whoever is no more, the other eldest member takes his place. So, business can continue even if the Karta is not there. Stable existence in the cooperative because separate legal status. The owners and the members have separate legal status. That is why continuity is possible. Members may come and go, but cooperative is there, okay? Stable because of separate legal status. Now, the ownership liability of the members is different from the ownership and liability of the company. That is why separate legal status. Okay, so members can come and go here also in the company form of, that is, business. Okay, so this is it, children, for the comparison of various forms of business organization. Coming to the next topic, difference between public company and private company. So we have done this earlier. Basis is members. Public company minimum 7 and maximum is unlimited. Private company minimum is 2, maximum is 200. Minimum number of directors. Minimum directors is 3 in public company. Private company it is 2. So less directors required in a private company. Index of members is compulsory. That is all the name of the members, etc. But index of members here not compulsory. Transfer of shares, no restriction. That is, in a public company, if you have a share of the public company, you can sell it away or transfer it in somebody else's name. But there is restriction on transfer in a private company. You cannot sell the shares if you are in a private company. Okay, there is restriction. Invitation to public to subscribe to shares. Public limited company can invite the public to subscribe to the shares. Private company cannot invite the public to subscribe to its securities. Next, types of partners, children: active, sleeping, secret, nominal, partner by estoppel, partner by holding. Now, sleeping partner is also termed as dormant partner, who is not doing any work, okay, but he is contributing everything. So you can have a look here, children: capital contribution, management, share in profit and losses, and liability. So I have explained you in the online classes also, but let us come to this. Active partner contributes capital, management participates in management, shares in profit and losses, unlimited liability. Sleeping partner contributes capital, does not participate in management, shares profit losses, unlimited liability. Secret partner contributes capital, participates in management but secretly, shares profit and losses, unlimited. Nominal partner does not contribute capital, does not participate in management, generally does not share profit and losses, unlimited liability. Now, if you remember nominal partner, children, I have told you he just gives his name. He gives the goodwill that he has created. So he gives the name to the partnership, but he is not a part of partnership, but just he is giving his name because he has a big name. So he gives his name, but the others know him as a partner, so he has unlimited liability. Okay. Partner by estoppel does not contribute capital, does not participate in management, does not share profit and losses, but unlimited liability, because the partner by estoppel has himself reflected himself in the eyes of the third party that he is also a partner of the firm. Okay, next, partner by holding out does not contribute capital, does not participate in management, does not share profit and losses, but has unlimited liability. Now, partner by holding out, knowingly he has been allowing himself to be represented by the other partners to be the partner of this company. That is why he is also having unlimited liability. However, partner by holding out can clear this out that he is not a member of partnership, and he can avoid this unlimited liability. Okay, so everything we have done in online classes also, children. Difference between sole proprietorship and OPC. What is OPC, children? One person company. What is the difference? Perpetual succession. One person company has perpetual succession. That is, even if the main member is not there, but it will continue. Okay, but sole proprietorship comes to an end with the death, insanity, lunacy, imprisonment of the sole proprietor. So if the sole proprietor dies, or he is not mentally fit, okay, he is imprisonment, so the business comes to an end. But in OPC, the nominee, okay, an important clause for the formation of OPC is appointing a nominee. So if the main person, okay, he expires or he is imprisoned, so the nominee becomes the main member and OPC will continue. Okay, OPC is created by law and can be ended only by law. Next, separate legal identity. In OPC, the company and the shareholders are two different identities. When we are talking about the assets and liabilities of the company of OPC, it is different from the assets and liabilities of the shareholders in OPC. So that is why separate legal identity. But in the eyes of law, the sole trader and the businessman in sole proprietorship are one and the same. So in sole proprietorship, what is happening is, in the eyes of law, sole trader, that is sole proprietor, and the businessman, they are not separate individuals. The asset of the sole proprietor, the liability of the sole proprietor is the same as the assets and liabilities of his business. Okay, next, liability. Liability of OPC is limited to the value of shares held by the members of the company. So people who are investing in the company, so the liability lies till the value of the shares. In sole proprietorship, the sole proprietor is having unlimited liability. That is to say, in case of loss of the business or closing down of the business, even the sole proprietor's personal assets can be used to pay away with the debts. Okay, next, case studies we will be doing. Okay, so children, last few case studies we will be doing. Now OPC, we had very few case studies. However, you should know the difference of OPC, you should know the features of OPC. Okay, everything has been given to you. We did not find much of case studies in OPC. Okay, so online classes we have done some of the that is just quick quickly we have created case studies and we have done, okay, about OPC. So let us do the next. Akhil was living in small town of Orissa and was engaged in his family business of making rubber and plastic products. As he was not able to get a reasonable price for his product, he contacted Rohit, who convinced him that he will take his product to the city every fortnight and will sell them at a higher price. Akhil was happy to hear this. Although Rohit used to take his product to the city, but he used to charge very high commission for this. As a result, Akhil contacted all small producers of his town and formed a cooperative society. So, what kind we are talking about here is a cooperative society. He used to pool the output of all individual members and took it to the city to sell the output at best possible price. Name and state the form of cooperative society formed by Akhil by quoting the lines. Also suggest any one value followed by Akhil. Now, children, case study, I told you, you should always go from the last, okay? So name and state the form of cooperative society formed, okay? So here Akhil is, though he is doing family business, he is taking up family business, but he has made a cooperative. He has hired one of his friend Rohit, but he was taking a lot of prizes. So he is a middleman. Rohit is a middleman. So he has eliminated Rohit, the middleman, and Akhil has, that is, contacted small producers in his area, and he has formed a cooperative society just to market his products, that is, sell his products in the market. So that is what is marketing cooperative society. Where do you see the quotations? You have to know the quotations of the lines, specific quotations lines, okay? He used to pool the output of all individual members and took it to the city to sell the output at the best possible price. So this is the quotation for marketing cooperative society. You have 1 marks for finding out what kind of a cooperative and 1 marks for quotation. Next, what is the value? Hard work, initiative, team effort, okay? So values are these. Next, we will start from the last. Name and state the merit of joint stock company highlighted in the above paragraph. Explain other 2 merits of the same. Now when it comes to the merits, now remember the merits and then go into the case study. Mayank, a grocery store owner, has won a lottery of 1 lakh. His friend Yash suggested him to invest his money in the shares of Progressive Limited, as he too is the shareholder of this company. But Mayank wants to invest this money for expansion of his business. After a period of 2 years, Yash tried to convince Mayank by saying that he can easily sell his shares in the market and convert them into cash when needed. So what kind of a merit of joint stock company is this? This is transfer of interest, okay? And explain 2 merits, you can do it, okay? Next, Batra Private Limited, the known group of promoters, submitted an application to the registrar of company for the approval of the name for cosmetic manufacturing company. So we will start from the last, children, okay? Which function of the promoter is being referred here? Who selects the name of the company? Would the proposed name be accepted by the registrar of company? Identify the values being violated by Batra Private Limited. So this part of the question is from formation of the company, children. So let us come to the main case. Batra Private Limited, the known group of promoters, submitted an application to the registrar of companies for the approval of the name for cosmetic manufacturing company. They selected Avon Limited as the name of the company so as to increase the sale of the newly opened company, as it will be benefited by the name of already existing company. So the already existing company in its name, that is Avon Limited, already is existing as a company. So do you think that the name will be approved? You remember, if it is a name clause, you should remember that same companies cannot exist. Companies with same name cannot exist. So let us see which function of promoter is being referred here. It is name approval. And then who selects the name for the company? It is the promoter. Next, it is who would the proposed name be accepted by the registrar of company? No, I've told you just now, the proposed name should not be identical with the existing company. And what are the values? Identify the values violated. Value is respect of law, because the law says that there should be no company which has an identical name, and integrity, that is independence. Okay, next we are talking about, that is, we come to the question first and then we go into the case study. Always remember, name the form of organization opened by the farmers on the plea of Archana. Who can become the member of the above identified organization? What is the motive of this kind of an organization? What is the minimum number of persons required to form such organization? Under which act these organizations are governed? Okay, so let us see. Archana visited her native village during her vacation and found that the money lender in the village was exploiting the farmers. He was charging a very high rate of interest on the money he had lent to the farmers. Archana decided to help farmers. She met all farmers along with her grandfather and told them about the various options for raising funds instead of going to the money lender. She was able to convince farmers to pool their own resources and form an organization so that the members can take loans from this organization at reasonable interest. And when the funds are required, the purpose of opening such organization was not to make profit but to provide help to members. So if you remember the types of forms of organization, it is only cooperative society which is run for welfare of the members. So the last line, purpose is not making profit but to help the members, that is welfare of the members. So it is a cooperative society, children. Okay, and farmers cooperative society. Okay, next we are having who can become the member of this above identified organization. Now here, children, when we are telling name the form of organization opened by farmers, now here they are taking loans. Okay, so it is credit cooperative, children. Okay, the answer here should be credit cooperative. You can also write with a slash, credit cooperative. Okay, credit cooperative, because we are talking about money here. Okay, next children, so here who can become the member of the above identified organization? Any person who is above 18 years and has a common interest can become a member. Then what is the under which act these organizations are governed? Indian Cooperative Act 1912. And we have left out with question number C. What is the motive of this kind of organization? Welfare of the members. And the last one, is registration compulsory for this organization? Yes, it is compulsory. So this is the way you'll be doing the case studies. Next question, children. This question, children, we were having last, I had given it to you in the last case study, that is video that I have given. Okay, so I saw there was one problem. So let us see this again. A group of 5 people intend to start a private company in the name of Asian Paints Private Limited. They submitted application to the registrar with all documents. The registrar rejects it. Identify the possible reason and also give just your justification. This question, children, is again regarding formation of a company and steps in the formation of a company. So when does the registrar rejects the documents, you have to remember, okay? So if especially the name clause, just now you did one case study on the name clause. So if the name is same, then it is not accepted, okay? So we can, the answer here is the steps in promotions, okay? You have the name approval. So maybe the, what is the reason for not accepting the documents by the registrar? They have given all the documents, but what can be the probable reason? That the name is matching with an existing company. So that is what the name clause is here. It is important. So you can see here name clause. In this clause, the name of the company is stated. The company can select any name subject to the certain restriction. The proposed name should not be identical or similar to the name of another existing company. The name should not be objectionable under the provision of the Emblems and Names Act 1950. So the name should not be such that it is objectionable. The name should not be misleading the public. That is, it should not cheat the public with the name. The name should not include word cooperative. Okay. The name should not, because it is a company, okay? So the name should not include the word cooperative. The name should not convey any link with the government department or local authorities. The name of the company should end with the word limited in case of public company and with the word private limited in case of private company. So maybe public limited, they have not, if it is a that is a private company, they have not added private limited in their name, okay? The name of the company is conspicuously or clearly printed or affixed on the outside premise wherein the business of the company is carried on. So these are the things in the name clause, okay, due to which even if they have submitted all the documents, the registrar is not accepting their documents and help. This is the reason, that is the name clause, okay? So thank you to all of you. Have a nice day. Look into the case studies, how we have to do, okay? Thank you all of you. So there, here we end the chapter, okay? Chapter number 2 is ended. Bye bye.